Happy Friday, traders. Okay, so after a week of risk-on trading, bull market, buy everything. Finally, the market has seen some risk-off trading, and the bears get to eat. So Nasdaq is down about 2%, S&P down about 1.6%, but the whole risk complex got sold last night. Okay, so why did this happen? Look, there's a couple of reasons maybe we can put to this risk hit overnight. First one is that how many times can the market buy the US government reopening? Before Monday open, the market pretty much got the news that it was a done deal that the US government was going to reopen, and we gapped open higher, spiked higher for a couple of days on that. And then when Congress finally officially passed the vote, market spiked again. When Trump finally signed the legislation for the reopening of the government, market continued to trade higher. Look, it was almost comical just how many times the market just kept on buying the same theme. Anyway, so a lot of probably that selling that we saw overnight was a lot of that positioning, because obviously all the short-term traders, same side of the boat, super long, got washed out. So it's not exactly too sinister, what happened overnight. Anyway, another interesting thing that has happened in the market this week is that at the start of the week, market was pricing the Fed fund futures over a 60% probability that the Fed would cut rates again in the December meeting. And in the last day and two, that has actually dropped down to 45%, so sub 50%, so less than a coin flip. And that's really on the back of no data. I guess, Powell in the last Fed meeting was non-committal to December, so really maybe they should have priced this a lot earlier, but finally that's happened. Market loves rate cuts, so obviously pricing those out, it's not good for the market. So that's probably a more solid reason maybe why the market, maybe a bit of delayed reaction is actually offered at the moment. And finally, one of the themes that we've been talking about for a while is equity market valuations, especially AI valuations. Markets questioning that. Nvidia continues to struggle, had another bad night overnight, down 4%. And obviously that's the market leader, you've got to watch Nvidia. But this should get some resolution next week on the 19th of November. We get third quarter earnings for Nvidia. So let's see how that plays out. But if for whatever reason the market doesn't like those third quarter earnings, I would not be buying the dip because it could get ugly. Anyway, just moving along. Probably the key market to watch at the moment, though, with this risk-off selling at the moment is Bitcoin. So look, it's probably been leading. It has been struggling. We've talked about this. Midweek it did have a big bearish outside range day, and now that the technical pictures continued lower, and we've actually cracked 100,000. We've closed below 100,000. It's the first time since May of this year. And obviously, we're well off 20% from the record highs, so technically bear market stuff. Look, the big levels really, though, is just where it's stopped again overnight at 98,000. If we do trip that and decisively, it could see some decent liquidation. We have already seen some big liquidation in crypto, but this could be another wave of that. And then we could see a quick trip down to 90,000. If that happens, obviously, it's going to take the risk lower with it. So today, certainly, I'd be watching Bitcoin very carefully. Obviously, look, if Bitcoin does rally back above 100,000, that's it's going to be positive for risk. So Bitcoin, all the focus. And lastly, something worth mentioning is yesterday we did have some Aussie employment data out. That unemployment data was solid. Unemployment rate went from 4.5 down to 4.3%. It's expected to modestly come off to 4.4. You can forget about any sort of rate cuts from RBA. Not going to happen. especially with inflation spiking and you've got employment solid. The next rate move could actually be up. So that is definitely one of the things that's worth noting that happened this week. Anyway, look, it's Friday. Good luck with your trades. Respect that it is at the moment risk off, and have a great weekend.